Storm Prediction Center already calling out Sunday the 23rd as a potential possibility. National Hurricane Center is already getting to work. All right, weather weenies, this amazing New England rain that is coming in these warm temperatures are actually remnants from that crazy storm system that wreaked havoc throughout the Midwest and southeastern United States over the past 2 days. It is Monday, March 17th, and this main line of storms has definitely moved on, but it's super drizzly and dreary and foggy and everything behind this line. This was that severe weather that took place out west. There's a whole bunch of flood watches with the dark green and warnings, which are the light green. And if you go to water.weather.gov, which is a division of NOAA, you can actually see a lot of the rivers and streams are at or forecast to be at a higher level than normal. And as is a lot of the southeastern United States because of what happened with that storm. Zooming in just a little bit more and clicked on the PEMI here in Plymouth, and you can see that it's just about to reach minor flood stage. The risk for ice jams continues as we see the river ice start to break up. It's going to dam up and pile up in some places. We still see some of those risks through central and especially northern parts of New England. But let's do a wrap up of just what the heck happened out west for these past few days. I did a few videos leading up to it talking about how we needed wind shear, lift, and stability and moisture in order to have these long-standing supercell thunderstorms that could produce dangerous tornadoes. And that's exactly what happened. And it's part of the reason why we're not getting that right here now. We have moisture, sure. We have some instability with the low pressure that we have, but that's it. We're not getting wind shear. We're not getting tremendous amounts of lift or anything like that. We just don't have the ingredients for what's happening to us now to be severe like it was out west. The warnings were out there, and different parts of NOAA that have different roles to play when we have severe weather absolutely did their part. This is the third time in the history of the Storm Prediction Center that they maxed out these probabilities for number of tornadoes and strength of tornadoes. To put it into perspective for you, the National Weather Service offices over the past 2 days issued 268 tornado warnings in this area over the past 2 days. 510 severe thunderstorm warnings. And yet over 40 people still lost their lives. How is this going to work when this is privatized? How is it going to work when you have to pay a certain dollar amount to receive a warning and you have this volume, these numbers coming out of warnings? 59 different tornado reports. Now, these all have to be evaluated by the National Weather Service offices because they're actually the ones that go out too. Our forecasters, our meteorologists at the National Weather Service are the ones that actually go out on foot and do the storm surveys to determine if these were tornadoes, if they were straight line winds, and if they were tornadoes, how strong they were. And these are coming back as really strong tornadoes. This one outside of Diaz, Arkansas, EF4 rated, high-end EF4, which is the strongest tornado we've seen since Rolling Fork, March 24th, 2023. All 8 Mississippi tornadoes were either an EF2 or EF3. To put that into perspective for you, about 80 to 85% of all tornadoes are rated as like EF0 or EF1. About 15-ish% are rated as EF2 or 3, and 1% end up getting that EF4 or EF5 rating. To execute this properly, to see this volume of severe weather watches and warnings over the past 2 days takes an incredible amount of coordination. So we're talking from like eastern Kansas and Nebraska up through southern Wisconsin, all the way to like the Pittsburgh area and everywhere south of there. That encompasses a tremendous amount of National Weather Service office. It's like 40 offices. And it really can't be done at a higher resolution than that. You can't group some of those offices together and give them all the responsibility because the amount of people it takes to look at the radar and look at the data and take into account storm reports and make the forecasts. Like, this is a system that was already maxed before we had our little change of administration. But they were doing it, and they were doing it darn well. For comparison, the tornado outbreak, April 25th to 28th of last year, 165 tornadoes, 6 fatalities. And National Weather Service offices aren't free of being in the line of danger by themselves. We've all seen that news clip of like the weather guy who's like, tornado's hitting our building right now, National Weather Service, if you're listening. But the National Weather Service Birmingham office, they actually all had to seek shelter because the tornado came so close to their office. They actually had to have the Atlanta office pick up all their responsibilities for a period of time. So for a period of time, that office was doing double duty. This little black dot here is what's called the cone of silence. It's the area that's too close to the radar for it to actually, to be able to see what's going on here. So there's an area right immediately outside of it. And so you can see where that tornado passed just to the east of that radar. And despite the lack of staffing, despite the challenges, despite one of the offices going down because of an active tornado warning on them, This still ranked as the third highest amount of tornado warnings for a 3-day outbreak. Some stats carried into a third day because of what happened yesterday on Sunday. And so these are the storm reports. This was for Friday. The reds are tornadoes, the blues are winds, the green is hail. So that's what happened Friday. This is what happened on Saturday, and this is what happened on Sunday. Even a tornado in Pennsylvania. And still 40 people died. And when you take a look at some of the damage, it is just horrific. Like these screenshots from drone footage, not a single tree is left. They are all snapped off. And I share this all with you because severe weather season is just starting. Come day 7, we've got another problem coming. Storm Prediction Center already calling out Sunday the 23rd as a potential possibility. Don't forget this event too. They had well forecast starting at day 7 and had a lock on what was coming. Oh, and there's one more thing. National Hurricane Center is already getting to work. We need NOAA now more than ever. If you want to know how to save NOAA and how you can help, go to wxserena.com/save-NOAA.